I hear you.
All right, good morning, guys.
Morning. Morning.
First off, I'm going to ask an open-ended question, and it's going to be a dangerous question. Do any one of you have anything that you'd like to say to me? If you're saying it when I'm not here, I want to hear it to my face.
About what? About what?
What about, Brian? You tell me. George, you got something you want to say to me? Brian, to you?
Oh, are you referring to the parking?
I'm just asking, do you guys, any of you guys?
Well, yeah, I was, I don't know I don't know if that's what you're referring to.
Not referring to anything, I'm just saying,
well-
does anybody have anything? I'm back, is there anything you want to say to me?
Well, it had nothing to do with saying it to you, it was just that the way everything was parked this way, well, as a professional driver, I didn't think that that was, to me it sounded like you can't back up, period.
Okay.
I do it all day, so if we're gonna do it that way, then to me, when we pull in our big trucks at night, we should be backing them, pulling them straight into the fence, because we got traffic coming around here. Wouldn't that be the same thing as backing our vehicle out here? It doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, so then that's why I'm asking, okay? And this is a positive conversation. I'm not calling anybody out. What I'm doing is I'm asking. Brian, since you had brought it up this morning when I said, is there anything to say? Why would I make a safety suggestion on this site? Why would I do that? It was a suggestion, guys. Why would I do that?
To improve site safety.
Okay.
Make sure everybody goes home at night.
I'm also going to tell you the other reason. Any time that we can eliminate the possibility, the percentage of a potential incident happening, we're going to do that. This site is my responsibility, and it's my responsibility and a condition of my employment to make sure that I'm operating this site as safe as we possibly can. I've heard you say many times that you are a professional, and you are, and all of you in this room are. My question to you guys is, why didn't one of you guys think of that suggestion?
Well, we just park the way we park all the time.
Okay, why wouldn't you, as a professional, why wouldn't you think of that?
I back up every day and I do the same thing when I'm in my truck. So to me, there's no hazard there, and if there's a hazard there, then those bins shouldn't be there.
Okay, the bins are gonna get moved. The bins are gonna get moved, but that is easement, and that property belongs to the roadway, to the city, to the county, and it's gonna go away, and we're not even gonna be allowed to park there at all. We're gonna have to park over where Joey's is. It was a suggestion, guys, to eliminate the possibility of perhaps backing into someone that's not a professional as you are, because they're digging around at those boxes. And Brian, you're right, that's a horrible location for those boxes. First thing out of my mouth 2 weeks before I even worked here is I came up here and I took pictures of the site. I'm like, yeah, that's wrong. I get it, but we are the professionals. So I not only had Brian let it out there, because George, to your point, whenever I ask something of somebody, I am more than willing to give the reason. I would never ask you guys to do something without a purpose. However, sometimes I do suggest so that then we can have a meeting like this and I can ask, why would you think I would do that? And then I called Ray the night before and I said, will you please explain to the guys why I suggested that? Okay? So if you want to be upset at me for making a safety suggestion, or if you want to challenge it, I'm okay with that. Because at the end of the day, I'm all right if somebody wants to be pissed off at me because we did something that could potentially enhance our safety or potentially take some risk out of something. So, my other fear is, Brian, is if not a fear, but if we do back in the morning, there's less pedestrians out there, so we back in the morning, we're pulling out forward in the afternoon, so we can see what's going on with the people that aren't professionals. But what could potentially happen in the morning? What do we need to look out for in the morning? We're still backing up, aren't we? So what do we need to do?
Ourselves.
Okay.
Sure we're not back.
Problem with this now in the winter time, you're gonna have to make damn sure you scrape your windshield to get it, or your rear, your back.
Okay, well, that being said, shouldn't you be doing that anyway? You know it's going to come out of my mouth, but...
No, because I'm in a pickup and it blows up there.
Well, we aren't going to be parking there come winter time, but that's a great point though, so wouldn't you be doing that anyway, I guess? I would. I don't know how you guys, handle your vehicles. The other thing is as I heard some comments through the grapevine when I was still here that, well, you're throwing, George and I had a conversation, and we had a call with Jim, and George says, you threw a cone out in front of my personal vehicle. When we enter this property that Waste Management provides us for, okay, and I let y'all know the cone formerly known as Brian Cycle is gonna show up at various locations, and I expect one of you guys to challenge me, and I expect you to hold me accountable and do it to me as well. You guys are professionals, do this. I'm gonna ask that everybody, each week, I'm gonna ask somebody to give us one safety suggestion. Okay? These little yellow, high-vis yellow guys over here, they're gonna replace the cones, and you're gonna find these things at various locations around this property. And that's a company policy. The other thing I want to address is hard hats and safety glasses. There was some question as to why we have to wear them. I'm asking you guys, why? Why would we?
For safety.
Okay. Why would we wear them on the drive?
That I haven't figured out.
Okay. I got an email, you guys, that came out I don't know how long ago, and it went to every waste management site across the United States that says on your properties where there's moving forklifts, vehicles, your transfer stations, your tipping areas, your dumping areas, your landfills, hard hat safety glasses and gloves. And that includes the techs. They've been issued bump caps. Okay, it includes everybody at the site. So that's the answer to that, and I will certainly bring that out and read it out loud. I have no problem with that. So, is there flying objects up on the drive?
Oh, yeah.
So just like with the backing, Brian, how about up on the drive? You don't go in there, I don't imagine. You're out on the road doing your route. But do we have people that are untrained professionals running around up there?
Oh, yeah. Heck, they run into each other.
So I ask again, why would the company want us to wear proper protective equipment?
There's stuff sometimes squirting, there's people moving with a 2x4 and all of a sudden you're, you know, it.
The 95-year-old lady that can't get through there fast enough?
How you like that one, Brian? She told you off.
So what I want to say is, thank you for asking those questions. And if you want to ever ask me anything, you guys, please text me, call me, ask me in person. I don't have any issue with explaining why I would ask somebody to do something.
I got two questions for you.
Go.
Number one, washing trucks. They haven't been washed for a long time. I realize you're kind of short-handed. Are we supposed to wash them again, or?
I will be talking with Steve today about that, Marvin. Thank you for bringing it up. Trucks will be washed every Wednesday.
They're really dirty.
That's part of that job definition. And the reason that I had asked Steven to do it is because we want the motors and the compartments washed too. And it's not that you guys would, but he knows what to look for, what not to lay the wand on, and everything else. So, because obviously when Joey or whomever is trying to repair them, we don't want them all dirty and nasty either. So, but that's, yes, it's an issue
And
here.
then that new express clinic up there, is our insurance good for that?
I do not know that question.
You got homework.
I will, okay, fair enough. So,
You know, and back to that safety deal about going to up there on top, what the county should do is paint yellow lines and say, and put signs up, if you're in line, you stay in line and go through, not backing out.
well, the county's gonna as a matter of fact, there's a meeting right in this room this morning about that, George. This is all gonna be completely changed, and that's gonna happen. But the other thing is when Waste Management sent that out, that we all wear hard hats and safety glasses, they sent a copy of that to the county and the city as well.
But I mean, that should have been done long time ago.
But I asked you that whenever we ask that question, just as I would of you, are we wearing our hard hats and our safety glasses when we're supposed to? Every time we go on the tipping floor, are we wearing them, guys?
Yep.
Okay.
There's a little sign there, but they moved it way over. It used to be right by the door.
So,
when we first drove in.
The other thing about signs is, when we park in front of them, they don't work very well. So, they're great, and they're for a purpose, but when we park in front of them, they don't work, so.
Oh, you're in budget, nobody reads.
One more thing, and I'm long-winded here, and I didn't want to do this, but, you know, I've come up on that drive, I've walked up there. For you guys that do work on the drive, should you call me out if I don't have my hard hat and my safety glasses on?
Yes,
Okay. Who's responsible for safety on this site?
everybody.
Okay. Who do we challenge if we see somebody doing something that we can help them out with? Okay. So have a great and safe day, guys.